Indianapolis has officially reached its breaking point. The excuses are running out. The fan base's patience has entirely disappeared. And the tension in the press conference room last night was so thick it could be sliced with a knife. When your franchise point guard drops 32 points, makes miraculous clutch shots, and nearly fractures her back attempting to lead a dysfunctional group to victory, the head coach must take the platform, assume full accountability, and answer the tough questions. But Friday night, following a devastating double overtime 104-102 loss at home, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White did the exact opposite. Welcome back. This is WNBA primetime television. And now we're going over one of the most awkward, evasive, and completely awful post-game press conferences in recent WNBA history. We're talking about how Stephanie White stood in front of the media and actively avoided responsibility for her completely broken defensive schemes, perplexing lineup combinations, and the utter lack of adjustments that allowed the Washington Mystics to score over 100 points in back-to-back home losses. We're doomed. If you saw that game, and especially if you listened to the coach speak afterward, you can't draw any other conclusions. The Indiana Fever are currently operating as if they are completely lost. They're playing from behind. They are banking on inconceivable fourth-quarter miracles in order to force OT. The most scary aspect is that the person in charge appears absolutely frozen when it comes to addressing the underlying cause of the problem.
When we don't consistently defend. And this is on us as coaches. Like, this is our responsibility. We got to be disciplined the entire game. We got to be disciplined every possession. We're taking chances. We're fouling shooters who are about to shoot tough shots. We got breakdowns in coverages.
Listen to what Stephanie White stated when reporters grilled her on the disastrous second and third quarters. Quarters in which the Fever totally failed offensively and defensively. She stated, "We put a lot of pressure on our offense to be flawless when we don't consistently defend. We have to be disciplined. We received breakdowns of coverages. We need to identify combinations of players and rotations that maximize efficiency." She used many buzzwords. She spoke about discipline. She discussed combinations. However, observe what she did not do. She did not respond to the original question. She refused to explain why she was using materials that were becoming completely shredded in the paint. She refused to explain why her franchise center, Aya Boston, was forced to play on the perimeter like a guard while the Mystics dominated in the paint. She stood there and stated that the coaching staff needed to find the proper combinations, utterly ignoring the fact that it was literally her multi-million-dollar job to figure those combinations out before the ball was tipped in a professional game. While the coach was talking in circles and using hazy coaching cliches, Caitlin Clark walked up to the microphone and told the cold, hard, uncomfortable truth.
The biggest area of growth is everyone wants to go over and they're making shots. And for us, that's our biggest room for improvement right now is when things aren't going well, we still got to be able to defend and, find ways to get stops. And we haven't done that very well to this point, same way it was with our open.
Clark's face shows signs of weariness. Her voice is full of frustration. When asked about the defensive issues, she did not make excuses. She directly criticized the team's mentality. She stated, "I believe we've allowed it define how effectively we play defense too often. Everyone wants to be on guard when they take a shot. However, when things aren't going well, we see the most room for improvement. We still have to be able to defend." That's the quote of the season. That's the mindset of a great franchise player. Clark is publicly criticizing the effort level of her own colleagues. She is exposing the very cultural rot that Stephanie White has allowed to grow in that locker room. The Fever play at the top of their game. When the threes fall, they sprint, smile, and play defense. However, the moment they miss a few shots, they drop their heads, jog back into transition, and allow rival teams to convert their paint into an absolute layup line. 58 points in the paint. Let me repeat that astonishing figure because it is unequivocal evidence of coaching malpractice. The Washington Mystics scored 58 points in the paint against the Indiana Fever at IN professional basketball, conceding 58 points inside the key is a death sentence. It suggests your internal defenses are non-existent. This suggests your rotations are slow. It suggests you lack the physical toughness needed to compete in this league.
Best defensive moments and worst.
I think a lot of things. One, intensity. I think attention to detail. It's little things. It's initial positioning. It's communication. It's reacting. It's relaxing off the ball. There are a lot of things that are outside of, and great players make great plays. And the thing that Washington does is they keep moving. So
when reporters questioned White about being overpowered inside, she blamed communication. She blamed the initial positioning. She criticized herself for relying too heavily on defense. But the elephant in the room, which she flatly refused to address, was her personnel judgments. Why was Monique Billings playing 36 minutes as the backup big, scoring 10 points and grabbing 9 rebounds, while the Mystics front court was having a breakout night? Why did the front office sign players like Damaris Dantas over a genuine rim protector during the offseason? Why was the team frequently exposed on the weak side? Why did the coach wait until the fourth quarter to design effective out-of-bounds plays? Stephanie White is aggressively ruining Caitlin Clark's MVP season. Clark played 37 tough minutes. She dropped 32 points. She went 7 for 17 from deep. She finally discovered her devastating step back to the left. She did everything that was asked of her. She fought through double teams. She faced with terrible space. And she made enormous clutch shots to keep this squad alive. But as Clark herself stated on the platform, it was amazing, but I don't really care because we lost.
Obviously going to the left, that's what I like, but at the same time, I don't get a ton of catch and shoot threes, so, take what you can get, but it was great, but I don't really care because we lost.
Caitlin, 37 minutes tonight, how do you feel coming out of that one? See the smile on your face, so...
I don't really care because we lost. That is the mindset of a winner stuck in a system designed for losers. We have to consider the tremendous playoff implications here. The Indiana Fever are losing perfectly winnable home games. They consistently give up more than 100 points. If they do not address this defense immediately, they will not make the playoffs. Can you fathom the devastating consequences if Caitlin Clark misses the WNBA playoffs? Do you recall what the media did to Angel Reese after her team fell short? The headlines will be harsh. The entire season's narrative will flip from a celebration of the league's expansion to a critical examination of Indiana's failure. The Fever's front office is playing with total fire. The fans are doing their jobs. The arena is filled. The energy is electrical. Clark explicitly complimented the crowd for being the sole reason the squad had a pulse in the fourth quarter. However, fans cannot play defense. Fans cannot create a weak side rotation. Fans cannot miraculously fix a roster that does not include a verified huge woman. Stephanie White's post-game press conference was a masterclass in inventiveness. It was a bad excuse from a coach who was plainly losing control of the locker room. When you get outscored 20-9 in the second quarter of a home game because you committed 8 fouls and gave the opposing team a free march to the free throw line, that is undisciplined coaching. The honeymoon is ended. Christy Sides was harshly chastised, but even her teams did not appear so disjointed and defensively terrible early in the season. If the Indiana Fever lose another home game due to poor lineup management and ineffective interior defense, the front office will be driven into a corner. Stephanie White's firing is being called for by more than just outraged social media users. It's becoming a mathematical and strategically reasonable argument. You cannot waste 32-point masterpiece performances from the league's best point guard because you are unable to stop a simple pick and roll. What are your thoughts on Stephanie White's evasive press conference? Is she entirely losing control over the locker room? Or are the players to blame for the complete lack of defensive effort when their shoots aren't landing? How much longer can the front office ignore the enormous hole in their front court? Leave your most unfiltered, honest opinion in the comments section below. We read each one. If you want the unvarnished truth about the WNBA, which the mainstream media refuses to cover, hit the subscribe button right now. Destroy the notification bell to ensure you never miss a deep dive breakdown. Indiana's season is on the line, and the clock is ticking. This is WNBA Prime Time Television. We'll see you in the next video.